So today's video is going to be a little bit different. So for the past few weeks I have been focusing on my weighted muscle ups, but today I'm going to switch it up a little bit and only work on technique. Sometimes it's a good idea to step back a little bit, review your technique and see if you can improve something. And as you know, if you have been following my channel for a while, I give away everything I know completely free. All the tips and tricks I've learned through the years of doing muscle ups, I just want to give to you completely free for you to be able to learn the muscle up as well. But if you still feel stuck in your muscle up after all the tips I'm giving in these videos, I do offer tailored muscle up coaching. So how it works is that you film yourself doing muscle ups from the side angle and do like 2 muscle ups in a row with a band that you feel comfortable with, and explain to me in the email where you feel stuck and what part of your muscle up technique that you want my help with. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can just contact me. The details is in the description below. So today is all about refining the technique. So this is the first rep for today, and for me that always feels so stiff. So I just do 1 or 2 to get the blood flowing. Right, so I don't know if it's obvious, but what I'm trying to do is pull later in the swing. And what I'm also doing is trying to have a better bar path, pulling closer to the bar. Because when you're pulling closer to the bar, the muscle up will become easier. So that's what I'm working on. And I just switched to the black band. Let's continue with the technique training. So I just reviewed my recent muscle up attempt. And what I want to do a little bit better is to waiting a little bit longer until I pull up. So basically I want to initiate the pull when my feet are parallel with the bar. My last attempt I initiated the pull when my feet were about here. So I want to wait a little bit longer until here and then pull up. I think that will make the muscle up a little bit more efficient. Let's see. Alright, so that was a little bit better, but I want to pull up when my body is more vertical. Yeah, I mean the differences are so small. You almost have to have like a trained eye to see it, but there were small differences in technique. Okay, moving on to body weight, trying to keep the same technique. Alright guys, so now I'm going back to my old technique, which means a little bit less of a swing and going from a relaxed core to a hollow and throwing my chest over the bar earlier. Okay, let's see if you can see any difference and tell me in the comments which technique you think looks best and why. Alright, so this one or this one. And in the end of the video, I will tell you which technique I think is the best and why. So I actually changed my mind. I will also be doing a weighted muscle up ladder as usual, starting with 2 kilos. So this is how it looks when you remove the weights from my new ankle weights. Each one is 0.5 kilos and it's a total of 10 kilos. All right, first rep, 2 kilos. All right, so next up 2 kilos. So this was 1 kilo. And 2, and the other one, 1 and 2. Okay, so a total of 4 kilos for 1 rep. Okay, 6 kilos are on, and the pile is getting smaller. 1 rep, 6 kilos. Right, the pile is getting smaller. 8 kilos are on. Let's see if I will use those for a 10 kilo muscle up after this one. Let's see. Alright, so one important thing before I do my 8 kilo muscle up. If you're watching people doing muscle ups on YouTube and you are comparing yourself to them, you have to know if the comparison is fair or not. So in my case, when I'm looking at other guys on YouTube doing a lot of reps and sets and very explosive muscle ups and stuff like that, at first I compare myself and feel that I should be stronger, more explosive. Why am I not as explosive as that guy and so on and so on. But then I need to find out how tall is he, how old is he, how much does he weigh, and so on. So I did that recently, and I am 190 centimeters tall. That's about 6'2". I weigh about 91, 92 kilos. I have very long arms. I was comparing all of that to another guy, and he was in his 20s. He was 170 centimeters tall. He was weighing like 70 kilos. So that's not a fair comparison. So if you're gonna compare with someone almost in the same age, the same body type, the same weight, and so on. And that will often put our muscle up journey in a better perspective, so to speak. All right, so 8 kilo muscle up. And this for me starts to get heavy. When it starts to get heavy, you just wanna get your chest over the bar. And the most important cue to get your chest over the bar is just to throw your chest over the bar as fast and as early as possible. Let's try. All right, let's do this. 10 kilos are on. This means it becomes even more important to throw my chest over the bar. Last rep with 8 kilos, I kind of feel that I did that, but I need to do it even more. That's the goal of this rep. Just pull up and throw the chest over the bar. And if you like my content and feel that you want to support me in a small way, you can always buy me a coffee. A few months ago, I joined this really cool site called Buy Me a Coffee, where you can support your content creators that you think benefited you. And in this case, you might benefited from my muscle up tips and made your muscle up journey a little bit easier. So if you feel that that's you and you want to support me, I'll put a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page in the description below. Cheers! So my last 10 kilo reps have not been satisfied to me, because at the top position, at the transition, you don't want your legs to wobble everywhere. You want them to be controlled. I don't think I have managed that with 10 kilos yet. So let's see. I don't know. What do you think? Let's review. So I reviewed, and I think that was my best 10 kilo attempt so far. And all I was thinking about was just driving my chest over the bar. And I don't think my legs flared out too much at the top position. A little bit, but I think that was okay. What did you think? Tell me in the comments. Right, guys, let's finish this workout with a bodyweight cool down pyramid. And when I finish this workout, I will tell you which of the techniques I showed you in the beginning of the video that I think is the best for me and why. All right, shaking the 10 kilo muscle up off. 1, 2 muscle ups. 3 muscle ups, top side of the pyramid. 4. Starting to get a little bit tired. All right, almost there, guys. 2 muscle ups. 1. 2. And finally, the last one. So the technique that I found was best for me is this one. I use a small swing forward with a relaxed core, and when I'm about to swing back, I pull explosively, and the feeling is that I'm pulling with my armpits. Or another cue can be that I want to cover my armpits as fast as possible. This gives me a very good bar path and a powerful pull. I keep the pulling tension until I transfer over the bar, and at the same time throwing my chest over the bar. This technique works good with body weight as well as with weights, which is a very good thing. The best technique we can have is the most efficient technique, and that means in this case with muscle ups, you want to be as close to the bar as possible and transition as fast as possible over the bar. Would being able to doing 3 reps for 8 sets with the lightest band most likely mean that I can do a strict rep with body weight. Currently can do 2 by 8 already. I will attempt a 3 by 8 next session. I would just say go for it. Try the first rep without any bands and see how it goes. For most of my clients, I like to work up to 5 reps for 3 to 5 sets with the red band. The red band is actually not the thinnest band. There is a real thin band that here anyway, it's often yellow. When I say the thinnest band, I mean the red band. I don't know how many kilos of assistance that gives you, but so I'll have a thick one, green, then purple, then black, then red, and then usually a very, very thin one that's yellow. But for me, that one is unnecessary because it doesn't give you any help almost. But if you can do 5 clean reps without any kipping with the red band for 3 sets, you definitely have a bodyweight muscle up. Not necessarily a very clean one, but if you keep a little bit, that's okay. Hope that helps. Support for the best muscle up coach on YouTube. Thanks a lot, Devin. I always appreciate your support. Mike, send me a bar. In my place, we don't have one. I do my muscle up workouts on a football goal. Yeah, that's a struggle, but if you want to see it from the positive side, because the thing is, if you're doing your muscle ups on a thick bar and then trying to do muscle ups on a thinner bar will be so much easier for you. So that's the positive thing. The negative thing is the learning curve. If you're only doing muscle ups on the very thick bar, can be longer, but as I said, you will be stronger. Hope that helps, man. And guys, as always, please feel free to ask your muscle up questions in the comments below, and I will answer it in a video just like this.